That's all. Everyone's here. It's not. A lot of surprise faces. I'm doing on behalf of Prof Amila Jayarathne. Are there anyone else? One minute. Please. Go ahead. Okay, you start. It's 11:30 next. So the ones who are joining online, can you all hear me? Normally online members aren't talking much. They normally talk. So anyone from the online persons, can you all hear us? What is happening over there?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, so we are going to start now. And I will be like walking around. So I was told that you all did So I was informed that you all did segmenting, targeting, and positioning. Before moving on to today's session, can you all like different things here regarding the previous session? What is your learn? What is targeting? What is segmenting? What is positioning? Just targeting. And what is search? Because you can ask me to check regarding. Anyone? Y'all can voluntarily speak, otherwise I'll be like pointing. Are we segmenting? Segmenting?
Segregating, you want this?
So why do we not segregate the customer? We don't have the resources, but also the people, they have different tastes and preferences, so that we have to classify us into several groups and things. Okay, so that is segmenting. And what is targeting? Segregating, segmenting is all about dividing the customer groups into different homogeneous groups. What is targeting? Someone else, what is targeting?
Based on the products, we target a certain group, we try to satisfy those groups.
So even though we classify the whole population into several subgroups, we still can't be like reaching out to all those groups. So because of that, we have to select what are the groups that we are going to reach out, right? So that is targeting. And what is positioning? Placing the products or the brands in the mind of your customer group, right? That is simply positioning. Okay, so I asked the question and I think I answered it. Okay. So what are the importances of SCP? Again, other than the value provisioning, what are the other benefits of SCP? For customers, what are the benefits? Online members, do you all have any additions? Like, why do you think STP is important for the manufacturers or for the companies? And you all keep thinking about the benefits for customers, okay? What are the benefits for the customers? What are the benefits of STP? You?
Yeah, we are in a separate segregation of opinion. The product is everything organic from.
That means special attention for the customers in the targeted group. That is personalized services for them. Okay, what else?
The customer can have, yeah, the product, it be positioned in correctly.
Easy access to the product. You may like to placement strategies through like exclusive outlets and all. Okay, good. What else? The position. What are the benefits normally do we get? Now we are all consumers, so what are the benefits that normally we get? We would get. Recalling on your own experiences. Now from birth to today, y'all might have been like consuming a lot of different products and services. So from those different brands and products, what are the advantages that you have? Nothing? Positioning, can you give me an example of positioning? Like how your brand or your preference has positioned their product in the minds of consumers? Just give me a rough example. Tax topic, how have they positioned them? You all have tried it. If you all can remember, they came up with this Sarah coffee. And even now, if I ask you what it is, if I just tell Sarah coffee, what's the first thing that comes into your mind? That's coffee. I don't know what comes to your mind. Okay, so that is basically positioning. So it will make us, as consumers, it will make us like easy to capture the different products and understand what the benefits and the services and also the differences that they have, right? So we have to do the product strategy today. So I hope you all have a understanding of XDT, right? Any questions or clarifications regarding SCP? So the online people, what are the benefits for the manufacturers? From SCP, what are the benefits that we can get as manufacturers?
They have covered targeting at the fields.
Oh, really?
We have done more segmentation.
Oh, Madam told me that she covers. Okay, then we'll start from targeting. So you all covered these measures also. Okay. Where did you all stop? This slide did you all discuss? What about this? The segmentation basis, yeah, this one? Okay. So what are the bases now for segmenting? Now, as we clearly specified that we have to segregate the whole market, we have to understand what are the bases that we should use in terms of classifying or grouping all these customers into several groups. What are those bases? There are 4 main bases, right? The geographic, yeah, I understand. Now, those are like factors that comes under those bases. The 4 main bases are what? Geographic, demographic, and psychographic and behavior, right? So under those bases, I believe you all discussed it. So these factors comes under all these different bases, right? Monica, I'll roughly go through one example, okay? Demography. Just tell me one factor on the demographic that we can use to do something that you like. Age, right? Okay, so give me several ranges for ages like
Children,
children. Children in the sense how old now from birth to six, like 10, 11, let's say 11. And then from teens we can say from 12, sorry, this has to be 12 and then this is 19. Normally teens are recognized as children. Anyway, we'll just say them as kids. Okay. Teenagers are also lamai, right? So we'll just say as kids. And then teens. And then what? From 20 to 35. Adults, young adults. I'm hoping most of you are falls under this segment. And then let's say 60, okay? Adults. So under age, this factor, under the demographic base, you can classify your target audiences into several other groups. Now, let's say you're now, but what is now as an entrepreneur, what is your product that you're offering to your brand? Just imagine and just say me a product. Since you told age, like any product. Right. Clothes. There are so many different types of products like designer clothes, there for children, there are specific clothes. Like what sort of clothes? All. It depends on product type. Let's say, let's take like hotel. Okay. So here, now this is since this is like a large sort of a organization, they have their capabilities in terms of targeting maybe like all these types of categories. So the target groups are all these ranges. Let's say if it's like a campus product, right? So then who are they targeting? Kids and or maybe after 60 plus. Elders, right? So again, it depends on the product or the service that you all are facilitating. And now normally, now where does this marketing begins normally? You have to first identify customer needs, which are unmet and unsatisfied, and you have to come up with some product or a service that will provide a solution, right, to fulfill those unmet needs. So let's say now your brand was your product is campus, and I'm taking this, but so now your product is this. You all have identified that there is a need for providing these products for kids and also for young adults, okay, old generation. And then obviously they have used the age in terms of classifying, and then they have selected only these two groups are the ones that they are going to cater it, okay, not these. So that is simply targeting, right? And then positioning is what? Let's say you have a brand for this product. Brand. Just quickly suggest a name. Any name? XYZ. Wait on. Wait. Okay. This is the brand, right? They have come up with, and they have to position this brand in the minds of their consumers. So to do that, you have to find something unique to yourself. What is the uniqueness of well-owner home? It's like comfort and soft, and I think environmental friendliness is also there. So those type of uniquenesses you have to find, and you have to communicate those to these kids and old people. Now, can they understand all these benefits and everything? So then whom they have to communicate about this? The parents, right? Obviously, the parents and the potential ones, which could be this category, and even the grandchildren, right? Because they are like into buying gifts and all these things for their grandchildren. So the well-owners promotions can be directed towards these categories. But their product itself is for kids and elders. And then again, there are two different products, right? For kids, it's different, and for adults, it's different. And maybe different benefits also. For kids, it might be different from the others. So when selecting these bases, now I just asked y'all, and he just said age, and we just went along with it. But if y'all like a well-established organization and all, and y'all are into like introducing a new product or a service to the market, can we just do that? Can we just say, let's go ahead with age, and we don't have to consider about other things? Can we? All right. So in that case, you have to focus on these requirements in selecting one of those bases. Now, even though we identified age here, now with the well-owner's case, I said that they are environmental friendly, and the environmental friendliness of the consumers comes under what? What base? Geographic? No, right? No. Environmental friendliness, as human beings, your love or your adoration for nature comes under what? Demographic or geographic or psychographic or behavior?
Behavior.
Behavior, right? Because it's like a part of your lifestyle and your beliefs and values, right? So in that case, it's like it's a combination of both behavioral and demographic. Under demographic, you all have selected age, and under behavioral, you all have selected the lifestyle or the values. So that happens. So in terms of measurables, so these are the factors that you have to keep in mind when selecting those bases, right? And also those factors that comes under the bases. Any clarifications up to now? Okay. Okay, so it has to be measurable. Now, if we take age, it's measurable, right? We can normally measure the customers, the number of customers, depending on the maybe the geographical boundaries as well. Now, even though now I don't know whether is it international? Is it yeah, so then that means it's an international brand, that is, it's crossing the geographic boundaries, and then in that case also they have to focus on the geographical basis as well, depending on the region, maybe the country, likewise. So it's like, if you all captured the essence, it's like you have to consider about all these bases when you all are targeting. It's not just a one base or a factor that you have to keep in mind, right? All these things happen is why? Because of the differences of the consumers, right? Their tastes and preferences, their values, beliefs, their likes and dislikes, all are like so different, right? So heterogeneous. And because of that only, all these complications are arised. Okay. And it has to be accessible and substantial, differentiable. What does it mean by differentiable? Like, how do we have to differentiate ourselves in terms of your products and services? Why do you all have to differentiate yourself from others? Normally, as a company or a business organization, why do you all have to differentiate yourself?
Otherwise, customers won't get it.
Yes. What about the competition? The company. Yes. So it's not only you who are like offering a product, offering a marketing offering to the market, right? There are so many other companies and service providers who are maybe facilitating similar sort of product or a service. And in order to make the customers buy from you, you have to differentiate yourself and you have to add something new and something valuable, right, for the customers. And then actionable, that means you should be able to implement it, even though you plan and you analyze all the data and sort of come up with the age factor. It has to be actionable, right? You should be able to target all these different segments. And like I said, now even though you are targeting your product for the kids, your communications and even the pricing strategy and even the pricing strategies are directed towards the parents and the grandparents who are falling under these two categories, right? Because the pricing, no, right? Can they walk towards an outlet and buy their own stuff? So then that means parents and grandparents must be targeted. Okay. So then we are moving on to targeting. Online presenters, if you all have any questions, you can ask now. No questions? Do you all have any questions? No? Anything to add? Because I'm hoping you all are working. And roughly like in what areas, like in what industries are you mostly accounting and finance, or yeah. Anyone from operations, relevant to operations management? Production, marketing? Obviously, no. Okay, what about HR? No one? Only finance and accounting, costing. So any experiences from y'all, since y'all are the ones who are like approving all the budgets and marketing strategies and everything, any input to be added? Like from the academic field. So y'all can be like enlightening me in a lot of areas. Anything to add? Have you all seen this happening in your organizations? How have you all supported, like as accountants and finance managers maybe? How have you all contributed to it? Strategy. High cost, high budget කියලා. Yeah, share your experiences with me. Effective.
Yeah.
So how can you all like do that? Like, do you all have a specific scale or a measurement, something? Sales, depending on the sales figures. Now, but when you're like introducing a new product, now let's say the marketing team has come up with a new product or a new modification to an existing product, how can you all evaluate? Because there are no sales for that. In that way.
By doing promotions.
Yes,
And
pre-promotions.
yeah, getting customer feedback.
That means non-financial performance appraisal methods. Okay. So, so any other questions from the online members? No, right? Okay, so targeting. So I said what targeting is. It's about selecting the groups that you are going to give your products into, right? So on the segmenting, what happens is you're dividing the entire population into several groups depending on different bases, the demographic, geographic, and behavioral and the psychographic bases. And after doing that, after segmenting and after identifying several groups, you have to select maybe all, depends on product, right? It depends on the service and the product and the benefits that your company is providing. And depending on that, you have to select several target groups, and that selection process is targeting. Selection process. And then we have what? The target market, which is what? Now with the process, following the process of targeting, we are ending up with like, we are concluding that we are going to provide our product to the kids and to the older generation, right? So that is, the product is directed towards them. And then the target market is for the product strategy, okay? Specifically for the product strategy, the target market is kids and the older people. Did you get that clearly? Okay. But then, is it only the product that we have as the, you know what marketing means is, right? Product, place, price, and promotion. Yeah. So those 4 strategies are there, and this is only the product strategy that we focused on. So what about the pricing, placing, and promotions? Who are our target market in terms of our pricing? I said already, right? The parents and the young adults, and then the grandparents. And again, the promotion strategy is directed towards them. And for the promotions, who's our target market? They actually see it, right? Okay. And for the pricing, again, the same thing. Madam, can you give me an example? Taking a different product or brand, tell me what is the target market for the product, price, and placing. Now, when it comes to a service, it's different. We've been talking only about this Verona, the campus, which is a physical good. But what about services? For services, there are 3 other factors that it adds up. What are they? Processes, people, processes, people, and physical evidences. Okay, that is for services. So what here now? Give me an example and tell me the target market for that particular product or the brand. This is a very, very practical subject, and this is also a service, right? I'm delivering the lecture, and it's a service. Is it a pure service or it's like a moderate level service? Normally education, is it like a only services, or there are some other physical goods that we use for the delivery to facilitate the delivery? All right. We have the, now we all, of course, you all get the slides, right? Let's say y'all are getting hard copies of the slides, so that is physical good. So it's not a pure service, okay? So what my point is, we all to come up with a product or a brand and tell me what is the target market. Real product. What is the brand? Anchor. The target market is all, the entire population. Okay. What about the pricing strategies and promotions? Are they targeting the entire country, or is it like, how is it? Now, when it comes to anchor, since you highlighted it, now there was a huge scandal, right? Relevant to the anchor with all these DCG problems. So in that case, like after that case, what happened? The market, did it change, or was it just same, or what happened? It changed, right? So people started thinking about their health and about the ingredients and all those things, right? You all think that okay? Just think. So after that, the company, did they change their practices? Yeah. Maybe that is the promotions. Yeah. How did they do that? So with that change also, now some people drifted away from it, right? Some stood with it, but some people they changed. So when that happened, the market also started to change. Now, what inspired that change? In terms of, yeah, exactly, the company, it was the company's fault, but from the customer's point of view, what made them change? They could have, I mean, like everything that we eat, like mostly artificial, right? We don't go ahead and think about all these stuff, but specifically for Anchor, what made us change? Because we thought about our health, and maybe because we are so addicted to drinking tea and getting coffee that we need milk. Is that so? So that means what? The health consciousness and the lifestyle, all these bases were changed, right? Then, okay, Anchor, you said someone else tell me something else. Where do you all work now? Like, if I actually ask, where do you work? Baby? Ah, so you could have like contributed this. Okay, so what about you?
I'm a teacher.
Teacher, okay. I think I saw you yesterday. What about you? CBN, respects. What about you? MS, Avant. What about you? What about you? Confidence in services. Access. You can.
Yes.
James, okay. So, in access, how does it look like? Who is your market? So you can talk out loud. Who's the target audience and why have you all selected it? I know you are in the accounts department, but still, you need to have, are you in the finance or accounting department? Yeah. So what about the products and what is the target market and how did you all end up selecting that target market? Government projects. It's like constructions, buildings. Who are like us? So the government is the target market. Only government. Only the government. Okay. Any other private companies? So you're targeting only the government. That is like different case. Anyway, what about you've been talking a lot, so what about you? Who is your target? You. James, it's
I get that on the possible.
who are your targeting, right? So I'm thinking that you were like a value
Exports.
export. So that means you're getting defense from all those.
Yeah, local market and Madagascar and she export. to international
You do like sort of value addition in
market. Cotton polishing.
pattern polishing and then
And export.
exporting.
Because
Where?
Jewelry
With jewelers,
manufacturing.
international speed. So that means your target market is the exporters, international exporters. What about the people from whom you're getting the gems and you're like targeting them?
Mining it.
Yeah.
Just mining the.
But still you have to like, don't you think that you have to make good relationships with them so that they will come and stay loyal to them?
Interest in the mines. The mining is also.
Or you're not investing in, okay. So that means you all have purchased your supplies as well. Right. Something similar. Okay. So in marketing, you have to understand that it's not just the customers that you have to maintain relationships with, right? Even though our final product is delivered to the customers, there are so many other internal and external stakeholders, right? Stakeholders that we have to focus on, right? The suppliers, like in his case, the suppliers, the mining people, and then the exporters who are the customers. And even the exporters are not the end consumer, right? Yeah. So they may be like the shops who sell the gems. And the end consumer is who? Like general public, high-end customers. Right. So that means high-end customers depending on their income. And also, what else? Is it only income? Obviously, there is the geographical base because you all are crossing boundaries. And then lifestyle? Yeah. Normally in Sri Lanka, do we wear gems, embedded jewelries? No, for safety reasons, no, of course, right? But for like, let's say Qatar or like maybe Gulf countries, it's like a thing for them. So then again, lifestyle, all those factors you have to keep in mind. What else? What about the behavior, the psychological factors? They value it, right? I believe it's like they believe in materialistic lifestyles, so that they sort of into buying gems. I don't know, you're the one who has, like tell us, because you're the one who has the insights. I'm just assuming, depending on the factors. Is it correct?
Yes. It's a good investment too. It can invest in those gems. And when it comes to value appreciation, we can sell it on. And it's very safe also. We can keep it in the same place. When it comes to money, we can't store like that.
Yes. Yes, the typographically, it is like affecting the customers.
Customers,
It could be different. Again, it depends on the geographical basis as well, because for Asian countries, of course,
will buy for saving for forever.
yes,
Will be there.
right. So yeah, so that is what I want actually, because I might be taking most common examples like Pizza Hut or McDonald's, but insights coming from you are the best side, because then even though we, for the teaching purposes, we take one thing and then like sort of teach you all everything. Now see, if in his example, there are so many things that got involved, right? So it's always better for you all to speak up and add things. Okay. So target market, is it clear? So targeting is actually the process of selecting what are the groups that we are going to cover. So these online people, have you all like, do you all have any questions? Anything to add? Recording with Dara, normally they don't talk, like they give inputs. Okay. So in terms of targeting, just like I said, in terms of evaluating the segmenting basis, for targeting also you have to focus on three main things, which are the growth and the size and the attractiveness, and also the company's objectives in terms of selecting these groups, right? Then now we know that we have 4 customer groups, right? Now, how did we end up selecting only kids and older people? Just go ahead, otherwise I really have to. What are the factors that you think that Verona has like maybe taken into consideration in selecting kids and older generation? Nature of the product. Nature of the product, exactly. We can take that under the company's objectives. because they have identified that there is need for, and then depending on their skills and their research and development insights, they have come up with this product, right? So that comes under objectives and resources of the company. And depending on that, they have selected these two groups. What about the attractiveness of the kids and the adult, the young, the older generation? Is it attractive? Yes. Oh, yeah. Because for kids it's a necessity, and for the people it's a necessity. So that means for Verona, those two market segments are attractive. And then in terms of size and growth, kids and older people. Is the market growing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. For aging population is increasing also, right? On the other hand, and the kids are also every year they pop up. There is a growth. So these three factors you have to consider. Now, in terms of your company, the market was attractive, right? If we take international markets, the high-end consumers, obviously it is attractive because they will be buying the products. That means more sales and more profits for your company. And then in terms of growth, size of the exporters and the end consumers, I hope you all are not directly contacting with the end consumers, but the exporters only. Okay, so for the exporters, what can you say? Is it like a sizable one? Is it like a growing market? The exporters itself? With all these economic crises and financial crisis, not in Sri Lanka, but in other countries, now in UK, there is a crisis happening, and Russia and all these things are there. So with that, is it like a growing one? Maybe moderate level? Moderate, okay. So, and the market size is also sort of shrinking, I believe.
Due to these prices, most of the customers are willing to purchase because the.
As
what
an investment.
appreciates, what we appreciate. Now it will appreciate.
Mhm.
Future also we can change a little bit cash anytime,
It's only gems, not gold,
not good.
gems.
Yeah.
Right. So for your company now, since it's a well-established company with a identified product and all, the size is, even though with the external factors, even though the market is shrinking, but still you can survive, right? Yeah. So these things actually come. I mean, it's important when you're like introducing a new product. When you're introducing, let's say, a new product idea. Anyone has any ideas? Anyone who wants to become an entrepreneur here? No? Are you working in the corporate field? Or family-owned businesses, or friends doing businesses? Or with another business related, closely related, correct? No one? Okay. New product idea and talk about this. Talk ahead. What are the unfulfilled needs of yours? In terms of food? Healthiness, let's say you need a healthy fitness bar or something. Okay, so for that, now I'm going to introduce a healthy fitness bar. Okay? So that is my new product. Who's the target audience now?
Transfer.
Healthy bar, energy bar. Okay. Now you have this idea in your mind. Even though you have an idea, normally you can't be like going ahead and implementing it because you have to think of the market, you have to think whether there are sufficient amount of customers who are willing to buy it, right? So in Sri Lanka, normally entrepreneurs, why they fail is because they have something in their mind and then they just go ahead with it and implement it, but then there are no customers, no demand, and then they fail. Right? That is what is happening in Sri Lanka, mostly for the small and medium scale entrepreneurs, which is an extra point. So for healthy energy bar, who's your target audience? Who we are going to target? Youngsters, someone said. Who else? Only youngsters? Working people like you all might need, right? On the go, something energy. No? Okay, depends on age and behavior, okay? The demographic, the occupation. Let's take those. Your occupation and the age. Okay, youngsters are not working, so they are unemployed or students. And like your corporates plus part-time students. Or not full-time. Full-time? Really?
Yeah.
Part-time, right? How can you all do full-time studies with working? You are a full-time student?
I don't know.
Huh? I didn't get you.
I don't know. I think full time.
No. Full-time studies, I guess. Okay, so part-time students, right? So we just assume that these are the two segments that you are going to target. Now for segmenting, what are the bases you use? Only demographic. We can actually take behavioral also because since it's a healthy one. Right? Behavioral, okay. What? Health consciousness for the lives, maybe under that. Health conscious. Health conscious youngsters and corporate. So what happens is now y'all might have noticed now, even though we thought about this health consciousness, our target was like huge, right? Because not all the youngsters, all the corporates are health conscious. I don't know. Are y'all health conscious? Y'all have to tell, are y'all health conscious? Only consuming organic food and eco-friendly products. After 40? Okay, so what happens is what I wanted to highlight is like when you're using several bases and segment factors, your targeting group can be very specific. You can be more specific in terms of your target audience. Now you're targeting youngsters. You're targeting youngsters who are health conscious. That excludes your. Okay. Huh? What?
Sport.
Active, like physically active sports people.
When it comes to Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka mindset is after 40, they will consider about the food and all. And it like that.
So sports people are like a different category, I think, right? Now, depending on age, we can classify the sports people now. Even the people who are engaging in sports, we can classify them into several groups depending on age. When there are children who are doing sports, there are teenagers, and even afterwards, right? So even though we can, then we have to be like include something else, like if we go ahead with the sports people, then it's like it's going to be directed only towards the sports people because normally we don't as general consumers, we don't tend to go ahead and eat something or drink something that sports people does, right? Do you all do that?
My God, they forgot.
They use for their promotion as part of their promotional strategy. But here we are speaking of product. Okay. Okay, so health conscious, youngsters and all the corporates, right? Those are the two target audiences. Now, health conscious youngsters. Is the market growing? Is it a large sort of a market? John, you will say right? So what do you all think? Is the market sizable? Is it growing?
No.
The youngsters are considerably low. Depending on the attractiveness, do you think the health consciousness people are increasing or to some extent? So that means there is an attractiveness for your healthy body. And what about the energy factor? So in terms of this product, they are providing two services. I mean, two benefits. What are those benefits? Healthiness plus energetic. So then it's obviously attractive. And what about the objectives? It depends on the entrepreneur, right? About the company resources, it depends on the entrepreneur or the person who's going to start the product, right? So what are the factors they guide? Even the objectives and the resources must be considered in selecting the target markets, right? The groups. Clear now? Anything to be cleared? Clear now? All good? All good? So, what about the online members? There are like 6 members. Anything to be cleared out by someone, are you there? Oh, sorry.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, we can hear you.
The things which you are writing on the whiteboard is not clear to us actually. The camera is very far away from the whiteboard and it's not zoomed in, and colors of the pen is little dark, little light actually.
Can you see now? Like, I don't know how to zoom in. Now, anyway,
If you write a little bit bigger or use dark color pens would be fine.
okay, so you have to tell me, like, you should have told me that a bit earlier. I'll do it after the. So,
Thank
fine. Okay, y'all can take the break. Just let me know, okay, if y'all don't understand or anything, if I'm going fast or whatever it is, just if y'all have any doubts or problems since then. 30 minutes break. 30 minutes, So, online members, do you all want me to like refresh about what I wrote in the board? So, Sandhya, are you there? Sandhya is the one who said that the whiteboard was not clear. You have another lecture after this. But the subject. This was specifically economics. And I come beginning in this it's earlier 3 minutes. So yes, we have presentation in economics. Can you we all like have a WhatsApp group or something with this batch? Yes. Can you ask them to come to? Okay. If someone acts in outside. If I sit and do program here, okay, so I have to sit down, go early. Okay, can we all ask others to come soon? Like, pass a message or something? Please. So what's the presentation about? Economics, economic crisis. Basically, enough. Only finance. Is there like a specific industry? No. We are in economic as a overall. Okay, so we'll just brief what we did up to now. So we discussed what is segmenting and what is targeting is all about. Okay. So for the online members, are you all present? And someone answer me, please.
Yes, madam.
Okay. So the break is over, so we're going to start now. So up to now, what we discussed was, you all can hear, right? I'm going to sit and lecture because of the online people. Okay, so up to now, what we did was targeting and the target market selection. Right? The mobile groups in the you all also have to actively engage, okay? I'll let you all go like maybe 15 or 20 minutes earlier, but it depends on your engagement. Now, don't think of the economic crisis and the presentation, just focus on this, okay? And if I feel like you all are actively participating, only that will happen. Right? So, other one, who said the board was not clear? Other one was Senra. So what I did was I got it into a slide, and I hope you have the recording and you can go through it. So for basically for targeting, now targeting is what now? It is the process of selecting the target groups, right? For which we have to provide the products and services. And in order to select what are the groups specifically that we are going to focus, there are three criteria that we have to use, right? The growth, the attractiveness, and the company's objectives and the resources. That is what we discussed earlier. Right now, depending on this was that, okay. So Now, there are several strategies also. Now, once you're done with the evaluation using those three criteria, now you have selected the groups, right? In the previous example, this was what this ended up in deciding, right? The kids and the working corporates and the youngsters who are target groups, right? Now we have to think whether we are going to give the same energy bar, which is the product, to all these two customer groups, or are we going to like differentiate this product? For the youngsters, are we going to give a special one, or for the corporate people, are we going to give like something extra, right? To do that, there are few strategies that we can use actually. Now, relevant to the example, if we are like giving the same energy bar with no differences at all in terms of the ingredients or maybe the packaging or the labeling or whatever, if there is no difference that we are incorporating, that strategy is called, what do you say, like no differentiations at all. That means it's called undifferentiated marketing, right? That is the strategy. Have you all seen now companies or products or brands using this strategy in the Sri Lankan context? Maybe there are some companies who are offering the same product to the whole country with no differences in terms of their product, or the placing is the same, the prices are same, even the promotions are same. What are the examples? Tea. A brand exactly, like, because if you take tea, we have green tea. There are so many. What is this brand called? Okay. Just normal tea. Okay, that is a good example. Keeping aside all these different other tea brands aside, okay, because there are so many other flavored tea types and different other brands and all. Yes. If we take Dilma and all, there are so many varieties, right? So that is not undifferentiated marketing. Okay, that is so much of differentiated marketing. Okay. And what else? Instead of tea, rice, right? Siddhartha, telecommunication services. Why do you say that?
Packages.
Mhm.
Same.
You mean like the Mobitel services and all? Right. Right. How is it not differentiating? Because now for couples, they have like different packages. And like for adults, they have different other like packages and all, right? So that means what? That is differentiation. There is a difference. But if we compare to like rice, like you said, and Siddhartha, how come you said Siddhartha? But for Siddhartha, there are so many other different products as well, right? Not only for no. Don't know. Okay. I think for Siddhartha, you can't take it as undifferentiated, right? Because there are different products, like they have Siddhartha, the balm is there, and there are toothpaste and other oil stuff are there, right? They have all these spas and all as well. So there is a difference in terms of their products, and even with respect to their promotions, they differentiate. It is not the same promotional material that they're using to Siddhartha. It's different from the spas and all, right? There are different promotional strategies and campaigns that they're using. So that means there is a differentiation. But for rice and general tea and like salt, sugar, likewise, even vegetables, fruits and all, there is no differentiation. But if we like dig a little bit deeper, now if we take fruits and vegetables, there are some producers or farmers who are adding something new, like using organic fertilizers and all, right? And they're introducing organic fruits and vegetables. And Keels, of course, they are giving us fresh food, fresh stuff as they quote about the freshness, but still they're differentiating and promoting that they're the ones who are offering fresh fruits and vegetables. And so that is that there is a differentiation, but in general, if you take as a whole, it's like mostly undifferentiated because the same product is delivered to the customers all around the country in the Sri Lankan context. Okay, we're talking about. And then differentiation, the strategy. That means there is a differentiation that the company is doing in terms of the product, like if we take Siddha, there are different product categories and also services in their spas. And in terms of the physical products, they have Siddha and oils and nothing like there are multiple other products as they communicate. And even the pricing, is it the same prices? Now, if we take undifferentiated marketing, normally fruits and vegetables, same price range again, right? But if it is organic fruits and vegetables, the prices are different, most. And who are the consumers of those organic fruits and vegetables, according to your understanding? Health conscious, high income earners also, right? And also eco-friendly consumers, green consumers, yeah, right? Because they focus on the environmental impact that these fruits and vegetables are doing. In terms of Keels, like Keels, what did they do with all these green thing that they undertook? They did a whole chain, right? What was that? They color washed all their outlets in green and adopted a lot of green practices, and they have reusable bags, fresh fruits and vegetables, and what else? What else? Like in terms of adopting green strategies relevant to Keels? No polythene bags.
Collection points.
Water bottle collection, plastic bottles collection points. And also they have these reusable shampoo and all those for some products only. Reusable canners, the package. Yes. So my point was like, we all got the understanding, right, with the difference between undifferentiated and differentiated. So what I wanted to tell was even in Keels, even though they are giving us the same fruits and vegetables, highlighting on that category of product, there are some differentiations that they are using. Like they're giving you the fruits and vegetables in a reusable bag. I think you have to buy that. Okay. And so there are some, up to a level, there is a differentiation. That's the thing now, even though we teach you all these theories and concepts, those are constructs and concepts and theories, right? It could be different when you sort of apply it into the real world. We can't specifically 100% say that this is using this. Now, even if we take salt as a undifferentiated marketing practitioner, there are some other brands who are giving you all differentiated salt as well. If we go to that extent, right? Because some salt take care iodine, carbonate, and another those are like for cooking purposes. There is a differentiation. Because when y'all are writing the answers for the exam, think about that and manage it. And that is differentiated marketing, right? So when you are using differentiated marketing, you use certain levels of differentiations to all those 7 elements of your product mix. If it's a service, you differentiate your people, physical evidences, and also the processes as well. Right? If it's a service. And if it's a product, you're incorporating changes to all those 4 elements: product, place, pricing, and promotions. Right? So in terms of an example for differentiated promotions, like in terms of Facebook and all, in Facebook, you can boost your posts, right? the promotional post, you can specifically give them, I want mothers in this region, right? You can do that differentiation in terms of selecting the target market. So those are applications of differentiated marketing strategies. Different groups, different target groups, and different products, and different strategies for these different groups. And if we go back to our example, now we thought of giving a one healthy bar, okay? No differences at all. The same product for both youngsters and corporates. But let's assume that we are giving two types of products. For the youngsters, it's more energetic, and maybe the size, the amount is sort of large. These are all assumptions, okay? And then for the corporates, it's like less energetic and something that you can carry on the move. For kids also you can carry it, but still, let's say it's a bit lighter than it, okay? So that means what? What is the strategy that you're using? Is it differentiated or undifferentiated? Two products, differentiated. And even the target groups are different. So then that means you are using differentiated marketing strategies. And then there is another thing called concentrated or the niche marketing strategy, right? What do you think? Like, have you all heard niche marketing, niche markets? What is it? For an example, like Amelia. That means clothing for men.
Men's, for the
Corporate clothing for men.
items.
High income earning men. Yes. So that means in that strategy, you're only focusing on a very small or specific market segment. Right? Like I said now earlier, if we, in terms of this healthy bar, if it is, now when I got this health consciousness added to this target selection, the market segment became a bit specific, right? Remember I said that? Now, without the health consciousness, we only had the age and what was the other thing we had? The working, the behavioral, the lifestyle, the occupation, right? Under demographic segmentation base, we used only age and the occupation in classifying our target groups. And under that, we got only youngsters and the corporates. But we also incorporated the health consciousness, which was what? Which was under the behavioral segmentation base. That was a factor that we focused. And then our target market became small and specific, right? So then health conscious corporates and youngsters are like somewhat concentrated, somewhat niche. Now, if we take toothpaste, who are the market leaders in toothpaste? Okay. Yeah, you all can hear me, right? I thought I unmuted the mic. Okay. So what are the leaders? Who are the leaders? Signal, Klogard. Who's the leader? Signal. Why is it the leader? How are you all saying that it's the leader?
Market share is
Market share is high. Right. You all did that lesson. Competitive analytics. So this Signal is the market leader depending on the market share and the sales and the customer group. Whose Klogard is what? The market challenger or the follower? Challenge. Why is that? Because he is the second largest market share holder. Okay. So other than Signal and Klogard, who are the followers in the toothpaste industry? Sudanta, right? Fidelity. Close-up comes under Signal and Siddhalepa. Sensodyne? Sensodyne market follower. Put the hit number. Why? Yeah, I know what you're going to tell, and that's correct. So tell me. Yeah, so Sensodyne, it's what? It's focusing on the customers who have tooth sensitivity. So that means Sensodyne is targeting a niche market to other customers with tooth sensitivity, right? That is niche marketing, concentrated marketing. And then there is another strategy, which is micro marketing strategies, under which we have local and individual strategies, right? Individual strategies, what does that mean? Like you're offering a very personalized product or a service to your customers individually, right? Examples like,
Design service.
right. And in Coca-Cola, they have these bottles with the customers' names typed on it. So that is like sort of an individual application. What else? Huh? Automobiles? Is it like, I don't know, is it like designing according to the exact customer needs? What about the promotional and other strategies, pricing and placing? They're focusing individualistic customers in that sense also. How are they like normally pricing their automobile? Depending on the customer ability to pay. Vehicle type. Vehicle type. Tire. Yes. Depending on the customer's tastes and preferences, right? In your example, is the company pricing depending on the customer?
Yes.
Can you like explain, because I don't know.
It's a customer. What the customer request, if you have a gold card, they need to go and person. Customer.
So the price is determined by the customer or the company? But if the customer is like not capable, even though the willingness.
I even grant that every request such card.
All right.
Facilities.
So then they are offering a personalized car for them, right? Then it's an application of individual marketing strategy. What about local marketing strategy? It's also customized, but to an extent. Like now in individual, it's like only the individuals, right? But in local marketing strategies, it's like a group. But that is very less than the niche markets, okay? For niche markets, we have somewhat larger amount of customers in terms of tooth sensitivity. There are like so many people, even though it's niche comparative to people who don't have tooth sensitivity. But in terms of individual marketing, no, the local marketing, it becomes more specific. Like let's say like a group maybe, right? And in individual marketing, it's one-to-one marketing. And in that case, all those aspects are directed towards individualistic services, right? Even the pricing, the placing, which is how the customers get the product, right? Maybe through exclusive outlets or directly the manufacturer delivering it to your doorstep, maybe, right? Like, but in telecommunication, for what category? Yes. Yeah. For different individuals, really?
Yes, we can customize. Based on our requirement, we can purchase the data.
But still, some of other customers can also purchase that package. I think. I don't know.
Like corporate application, then company, yeah,
State customers, corporate customers, they can do the.
Individualistic?
Insurance package.
Right. So let's take the telecommunication one. So the individualistic packages. Okay, so y'all are saying, and please provide justifications also, okay? Because yeah, y'all are working and y'all are updated and everything. So justify your answer, whatever you're going to write. So then if it is individualistic in that way, and also for corporate customers, then it's an individual application. But what did you say? For Sunlight corporate package.
like company, they are going to, it's free for the, their phone. And that the customer is getting.
Sunlight.
And we are about to telecom.
Right. Okay. You said something about sunlight? No? Okay, something else? Did someone else added something? No, telecommunications also.
Okay, and
Community, but what is the application and what is the marketing strategy? Differentiation.
they are.
Is it for a one group?
And.
Right. So that means differentiated marketing because the target audience is somewhat huge.
Life insurance.
Huh?
Life.
Life insurance could be local or individualistic, because some packages are, there might be some similarities in terms of.
Based on the disease, and not only they will decide.
Yeah, if in that case, then it becomes an individual marketing strategy. But then again, for these vehicle insurances and third-party insurances and all, it's not individualistic, but maybe like differentiated, no? It's not niche also, but it's differentiated. Right. So yes, differentiated marketing is also called as mass marketing, right? Why? What does it mean by mass? Yeah, like you're delivering your product to the whole, like a large scale of customers in the mass scale, and the production happens in the mass scale, like in maybe factories or production factories in the mass scale. But if we take these Nike shoes and all, when they are like personalizing those shoes, can we do that in a factory with an assembly line or something like that? Can we do that? No, because we have to be specific on that exact product, right? Okay, so that is mass marketing, and even the pricing happens in mass scales. I mean, common prices are given to all the products. The promotions are the same, and what else? Pricing is also the same. Now, if we take heels, it's like the same distribution retail, right? It's heels falls under what industry? Retailing or what? Retailing, supermarkets, supermarket chains. Okay, so that is one placing strategy where you get to go and all these fruits and vegetables are stored in shelves and everything, and where you can go and buy them. So the placing strategy is the same for the customers, which is a justification for their use of undifferentiated marketing strategies, right? And then marketing is what? Differentiations are incorporated to all those aspects of the marketing mix. Product is different, target markets are different, the prices are also different. Now for Siddha different products are there, and even the prices are also different. Siddha toothpaste price is different from the Siddha balm, right? So likewise, there are differences, and even the promotions, the communication methods are also differentiated in terms of maybe now remember when you said Milo used sports people and targeted the sports people? You said, right? Milo, right. In that case, they were using differentiated applications in targeting them, in communicating in terms of their promotions actually. They have differentiated their promotions by communicating to different audiences, right? Like the sports people and the parents. It's not only the sports people that they're talking to, right? They're talking to the parents, the grandparents, and for the children themselves, right? Right? And even for other companies also, right? Because Milo is giving a lot of sponsorships and all for different company events and all. So that means they have to sort of communicate and target them also, corporate customers, right? And concentrated is all about niche marketing, where you focus on a specific niche market. So when it comes to niche marketing, Now, let's take the Sensodyne example. Have you all noticed like any differences between their promotions and the Signal's promotion? Any difference? What are the differences that you all have noticed? Signal promotions and Sensodyne promotion. Particularly. Signal promotion and Sensodyne promotion. What are the differences that we have noticed? No, I'm asking about the promotion strategies. Where these ones.
I want this.
Yes, that is right, but we can be, I mean, we see advertisements on television of Signal and also we can see advertisements of Sensodyne as well on TV, right? So I'm asking, in respect to the content that they're sharing, what are the differences that we should see?
Somebody says, like, somebody is about this.
Specific. And our face specifying the product, right. And the signal that you think small children to deliver the communication as right. That is what I wanted to get actually. So when it comes to niche marketing, it's not like that. I mean, it's not applicable for all the products, right? But when it comes to the Sensodyne, the toothpaste things, you all might have seen that there are some specialists or doctors or maybe the dentists are coming and sharing their experiences about not the experiences, but about the quality of the product. And even some used customers are also sharing their own, what do you call it, testimonials, the experiences about the product. You all have seen, right? They have it on their, in their websites and all these Facebook and everything as well. They're sharing their own experiences about the product, of its quality and I mean, if they have, whether they are satisfied or not. Micro marketing, which we discussed. Individual in the sense, there's always one-to-one communication. In terms of this telecommunications, the one that you said, which was corporate packages for on the telecommunication, how is the communication thing? How does the one-to-one become?
Provide data packages or SMS.
How do they promote about their product? Defense for the companies. That means they're going door to door to companies and the leaflets and
Most of the time, if they promote, to market staff, the market staff only use the sales, they only use mobile.
sales representatives and going company to company and distributing their leaflets and also personal selling.
Most of the time, sales staff will be, have to communicate with the telephone company. We come to the website, also we know what they are saying.
Yes, now in those leaflets, same content is there, right? So how is it like one-to-one? The way they are doing it is one-to-one.
Most of the time, the normal public won't go that much. When it comes to marketing stuff, they have to talk to everyone.
Yes, I know what you're trying to tell. Now, I just wanted to check how is the marketing, the communications are happening, the way, how is it they're like reaching out to individual corporates We have like that specific, not. So if it is, my point was if it is one-to-one, it has to be so specified. So in that case, even the content must be like according to the package that they are going to give to the customer. So in that case, we can't, I have doubts in terms of getting this telecommunication thing under individual marketing strategy. Anyway,
But we can take life insurance.
yes, life insurance, again, depending on the disease and the situation of the individual.
The place they are in, the habitual activities.
Depending on the family members.
Special.
Right, yeah, that you can take. Right, so we. What is positioning? Placing the product in the minds of the customers. Okay, that is the definition now. What do you think now? Can you all like share some of your experiences in terms of products being positioned in your minds?
We give them a camera.
Right, exactly. So that is actually the tagline. That is the tagline that they're using in all their promotional materials and everywhere, pretty much. So easily නැතුව canvas එකක් කියවමක
They are positioned.
position. What is it like? Now, what is the benefit that they are trying to give? So what is the uniqueness of that product? Then we can inform that. From the marketer's point of view, then, okay? From the company's point of view. Now you are like talking about the consumers and the consumers, what are the benefits that you are getting? I want you all to think of the company's point of view because you all are the corporates, so you all have to make decisions. So in that case, now what is the thing that you are delivering exactly to the EGB lovers or the general public? What is the uniqueness of your product? Why do the consumers buy your EGB instead of buying a Coca-Cola? What is the difference or what is the uniqueness that you're providing? Taste. It's EGB's tasty than Coca-Cola. Ingredients. Is it like because of the ginger flavor? So simply it's the ginger flavor, right? You can't say taste because taste is like a very broad thing. You can get taste like consuming anything. So specifically for EGB, it's the ginger very good taste. And what else? Startup, right? Very good. I wanted to highlight that also. So it's a local brand, right? And some consumers buy as thinking it as a help for those products. Okay. But that is not applicable what I asked because what I asked was what is your starter? It's a starter. Right. Okay. So it's a starter also. Okay. So those are the two uniquenesses or the benefits of EGT, right? As what you all said, the ginger taste and the starter, like a sort of an right. So as the company or as the marketers, you can use those two features of your product, right? To position your product in the minds of your target audience. For EGB, of course, we might have kids, youngsters, like simply like despite of the age, normally everybody drink EGB, except for the infants. And maybe, again, it depends. I don't think extremes of health conscious people do not consume all these beverages, right? So again, that is something that we have to consider about. So focusing on the ginger taste and this appetizer feature, you can position EGB on the minds of your consumers, like using one of the taglines like EGB gentle candy. එතකොට අපිට ginger දැකපු ගමන් ginger කියපු ගමන් EGB මතක් වෙනවා නම් that means they have succeeded in positioning their product in the mind of consumers. And if you appetizer එකක් කියපු ගමන් ඒක මතක් වෙනවා නම් again that means it has been successful. Like I said earlier, Stuffy has been positioned in the minds of the consumers as a sarcastic. So to position, what we use are those uniquenesses and these different features of the products compared to its competitors. Right? Again, going back to the EGB one. So Coca-Cola is a competitor, right? For EGB. How is it like? How is EGB differentiating itself from Coca-Cola? We just said the ginger taste and that kind of thing. But for Coca-Cola, what else are the uniquenesses? Do they have like? What are the benefits Coca-Cola is giving for the customers? It's comparatively sweeter than Pepsi. And what else? It's a beverage, refreshing beverage. What else? What are the needs that they're fulfilling? Basic need, what's the basic need that Coca-Cola is fulfilling?
Okay.
Thirst, right. But it's not a complete substitute for water, I believe. But then thirst, okay. What else? What are the other needs? Like, not exactly needs. Needs, of course, the thirst, right? What are the wants that it's sort of catering? What is the culture that Coke has created? Huh?
Festivals is that
Festive. It is used to highlight the festiveness of the drink and all the happiness and what else? They're sort of trying to make their product to sort of make all the people get together, like togetherness and family culture, friends, and having relationships and all those stuff. So those are the differences that Coca-Cola is using, right? So simply positioning is using your uniquenesses and all the features of your products and the services in order to make the consumers remember and buy your product, right, from the market. Product positioning is that. What does this mean? Coca-Cola is manufactured in factories, right? There's this assembly line process, production process that follows, and the products are being produced. But the brand is created in the minds of who? Companies or the customers? The consumer, then consumers. Now, there is a difference between brand identity and image, What do you all think the brand image is? Normally, image normally we try to build an image, right? For personal, you all have an image, right? If a rumor goes by, your image gets tarnished and damaged, right? So that image, is it something that you create or others create for you? And others are creating, no? What are you trying to create?
Brand.
Huh?
Brand.
Brand, right? Brand. So for brand, now if we take, now I'm talking about you, okay? Your as a person, as a human being. What's your name? Huh? Imanta. Okay, Imanta is a brand. No, I mean it's a brand, it's a name, and you for yourself, you can create your own brand and using all these modern platforms and everything, you can create a brand and maybe provide a particular service or a product under that brand, right? So Imanta Kiwahama, the image, your brand image will be developed by the other members, according to how they look at you and according to what they have experienced from you, whether you are a helpful person or a selfish person or like a cheerful person or whatever. With all what you all have experienced from him, you all develop an image for Imanta. What do you think of him? Helpful person. What else? What do you think? Good man. This is the first time you saw him. I haven't talked to him. You haven't talked to him. Okay. What else? Boys, what do you think of him? He's a good leader. Okay. So that means you have developed a good sort of a brand image. Right? But is that what you tried to build? You wanted to show them that I'm a good leader and I'm a cheerful, what you said, friendly, helpful person? No. Yeah, so but they have perceived you as a good leader and also as a helpful person. Did you intend of doing that? No. Okay. So that's the thing. So for products and brands, also the exact same thing happens. Even though as a company we want to build a brand image, an identity, the consumers will be creating the brand image. So even though we try to deliver a high quality, a good product, if the customers on the other hand were like unsatisfied with respect to maybe the delivery of the service or some salesperson's unfriendliness or something, we are unsatisfied with the brand and we sort of perceive the product as a what? As a bad one. Right? But the company, all these different functions are getting together and trying to create a brand image which is high quality and sort of a good product or a service. But the customers are developing the brand image in their own minds. So with positioning also, this thing happens. So when you have to be very, very careful in positioning your products because even though you try to say something, there will be, not directly saying, but I mean with your actions even, you're trying to do something, but they have completely thought different of you. That is why you have to be very careful in terms of positioning your products in the market and the point of the consumers, right? I wonder what your intentions were in, helping and leading and all. So have you all heard the term competitive advantage? Okay, so as organizations who are providing products and services, we know that we have so many other competitors, right? Even in economics, you all might have heard, right? There are different market economies, right? There are what? Oligopolies, monopolies, perfect competition, and what is that one? monopolistic competition. Yeah. So it all depends on the number of competitors that you have, right? Monopoly is no competitors at all. You are the only producer or the only producer or the company in the industry. In terms of perfect competition, which is not existing, there are so many producers and manufacturers, and that means there are so many competitors. And monopolistic competition, what happens? There are like few competitors. So however, there are competitors that you have to interact with, right? So when interacting with all these competitors, what do you need to do as marketers and as organizations? You have to give something different for your customers, right? No, not that. If you are like giving the same product as your competitor, sometimes the customer will not come to you. They might go for something, some other producer or a company who is facilitating something extra. Then, speaking of automobiles, even like let's assume that a company is giving you only the automobile, but there's the B company who's a competitor who's giving the product and also providing you a lot of maybe repairs or I don't know, like yes, after sales services and even maintenance throughout the period of usage and all. So those sort of extra features will differentiate you among the competitors, which will deliver you a competitive advantage over the competitors, right? So when positioning, you have to clearly identify what are the factors or maybe what are the aspects that you're creating such a competitive advantage and highlight that in your positioning strategies. Now in the EGB example, it was the ginger taste and the appetizing. So you have to, so those are the two factors which are generating a competitive advantage for you, right? Over maybe cream soda or Coca-Cola. Yeah. So you have to focus on all those things very clearly and position. And with that, we have two other things that we have to focus on, which are the point of parity and point of differences, right? So if we take a product, there are some features and characteristics or maybe qualities that they are giving us, which is exactly similar to the competitors' offering. Now, if we take Coca-Cola and EGB, both the brands are doing what? Quenching our thirst first. And also those are refreshing beverages. Those are like similar, right? But what are the differentiating features? EGB has the ginger taste and the appetizer thing. But for Coca-Cola, it's what? The family, the get together and happiness and all those stuff. Right? So those are differentiating those brands. So for those factors, we call them as point of differences. Points of difference. Point of parity is what? The aspects that are similar among all the competitors. Right? Then when you're positioning, what are the factors that you have to consider? Point of parity or point of difference? POPs or PODs? Exactly. So you have to highlight your PODs when you're positioning. Because the POPs because it's similar, right, with your competitors. Then EGB thirst quench use there are so many other alternatives, right, through which we can quench our thirst. So then that's a point of parity. And when you're specifically positioning EGB, you should not be like focusing on that, because that is a basic thing that you have to anyway deliver to the customers, right? But the differences, it's not like that. So what are these are like several ways through which you can actually differentiate your product or service, right? So from the product itself, you can differentiate. laundry soap. What are the, in terms of product, the soap, what are the differences that you have to be like specific, like take a brand also. Okay. Packaging. Huh? The fragrance, all right, okay. What else? The fragrance of the product is used to differentiate sunlight from other laundry soap. Okay, that is one. What else?
They have positional also. So they have positional sunlight in the soap towards flow.
Right, that is correct. Now, these are the ways through which you can position. And now what I'm asking is, what are the things that they have used? Now, like she said, fragrance is the one thing which comes under the product. Right, what else in terms of the product? Protection, the total cost of the product. Right. Right. Is comparatively low
So
price than the other laundry clothing store. Okay. That is one thing. Price in terms of pricing and the ingredients which adds up in the fragrance. What is medicine protection? Protection of the clothes. Of the clothes is the product differentiation. Anything else? What do you think? The brand name. The brand name. So normally product and branding, those two comes under the product strategy. So for the brand, in developing the Sunlight brand, all these differentiation points are contributing to it actually. To develop the brand Sunlight, under product differentiation, like he said, protection, fragrance, and what did you say?
That is already developed brand. They also they partners their brands to promote their products, new products.
Okay, product. Yes, we are coming to that. Branding strategies. Okay. Now, what I'm asking here is to differentiate the Sunlight clothing soap from maybe Diva or whatever the other clothing soap. What are the differences? What are the uniquenesses that they are adding in terms of the protection given to the clothes and the fragrance? Dressmaking? Yes, maybe. Less. Okay, that means high quality durability. What did you say? I completely forgot. In terms of Sunlight? There's another point. Cost, low price, right? So those are adding to the product differentiation. So when Sunlight is positioning, they can say that they are durable. You can use the Sunlight soap for a considerably longer time than the Diva soap. Right? So when you communicate that and deliver that feature to the consumers will buy Sunlight instead of buying Diva soap. That means product differentiation, and you can use it for your positioning strategies. How did they clear the? And then service differentiation. Automobile example. Company A, which is not giving you any services, but company B was giving a lot of after sales services. So that is a differentiation. So company B can position themselves as what? Okay, come buy us because we are giving you this maintenance service free of charge. And by communicating that, you can position the brand B in the minds of consumers in a unique way. So then the consumers will remember brand B as a company who is giving you automobiles plus services. That is how you can differentiate using the service component. But that is, now automobiles are like more towards tangibles, no? Because the physical good is quite larger than the service component. But what if it's like a pure service, like maybe counseling or like teaching or Right. Consultations. What are the uniquenesses that you can add for those pure services to differentiate yourself from other teachers and progressing previous results of the students? Okay. But it depends on, like for university level, but it depends, I think, because not all the students are getting what, I mean, depends on the attitude and all. But for schools and all, the children normally, they get everything that the teacher is saying, it's sort of smooth reading and all, smooth feeling and all. But when it comes to the university level and higher education, that is different. Reputation of the university. Reputation of the university. That is the brand that has been developed by the university itself. So for maybe for a single lecturer to differentiate himself or herself from other lecturers, what can he or she do? Educational qualifications, right? Experiences, right?
Techniques to approach.
Right, teaching techniques, right? What else? Okay. Like interaction with the children and what else? The use of modern technology to deliver the teaching. What else? What else?
Taking hard examples.
Right. Right, exactly. That is being sharing updated knowledge. Right, that is right. And in terms of the channels, how can you differentiate? Channels are what now? The placing strategies, right? How you make your products or the services available to your customers. If it is a physical product, then obviously you can place your product in a retail store or maybe through an agent you can sell it. But for services, is it possible? Why? Because the services are like perishable, you can't store them. And the production and the consumption happens at the same time, simultaneous, right? So because of those reasons, services are quite difficult and I think it's complicated than the physical products. So in terms of channels also you can differentiate in terms of having like intermediaries, updated intermediaries like for using maybe modern technology and all. So intermediaries are the ones you know, right? They're the ones who are distributing the products and services to the customers because the manufacturer or the producer can't, go ahead and sell the products to their customers, right? And as the manufacturer, they have to focus on the production of the product. And by using intermediaries, what they can do is they can make sure that the products are delivered to the customers on the right time, in the right quantity, and to the right place. Okay? That is why we need distributors. So in terms of channels or the distributors, how can we differentiate ourselves? Standing on the customer's point of view, speed of the delivery. Now, if it is like if you take Alibaba or Amazon or eBay, those are .com networks, right? So for those services, what is determining their effectiveness of the channel? The speed, obviously, the connection speed. What else? Updated knowledge and posting up the sort of latest products, maybe, right? Okay, people differentiation. How can we use the component of people to differentiate your product or service? For services, of course, the services are delivered through people. So obviously it is a differentiation is there. So if you all have heard of the heterogeneous nature of the services, there is a clear differentiation. So speaking of the lecturer example, the way I do is totally different from what Professor Amila used, right? So there is a differentiation between she and myself. So that is people differentiation. And for products, how can you use people differentiation to differentiate your product? If it is a physical product, maybe the sales people. I'm asking and I'm giving you the answers. You all have to add. So through the sales people, what you can do? You can, even though the product is of less quality, you can use the sales people to go and talk more and get the sale done, which is unethical by the, yeah. What else? The cheerfulness of the salespeople, friendliness of the maybe receptionist of like a hotel or something. Using celebrities. People differentiation. You can actually take that under image differentiation because it's like you're using celebrities who are not a part of your product. They're like promotional. They're facilitators of promotions. Sometimes even though we see celebrities come and advocate about a particular product or a service, we don't just go ahead and buy it, right? Just because he or she says so. Do you all do that? I mean, with all your education levels and experience and all, we all do that? I don't think so. But now, of course, you can see a lot of celebrities and influencers and all with all these rising social media platforms and everything. But I think people differentiation is more of like who's doing the delivery, and if it is a physical product, maybe the manufacturers and also the suppliers also, because you can't be like producing your product by yourself because you don't have the required raw materials and maybe other services like the required investments to fund your operations and all. So it depends on those parties also, right? Like if your suppliers are delivering you, raw materials that are low quality, what happens? It will reduce the overall quality of your product, right? So then your customers will be unsatisfied and then they will perceive bad about your product, which will make you less sales and market share, you name it, right? And then image differentiation. නිමන්ත කියන brand එක කොහොමද differentiate වෙන්නේ? With what he does and how he acts and how we, incorporate with y'all. The way you act with me or respond to me is different from how you respond to them, right? So that means not you specifically, like assume it's a student. The student role with the teacher is totally different from the other friends and peers, right? So it's different. So with image, what you can do is how you can differentiate is through those aspects. So these are basically how you can differentiate yourself. You can apply these to yourselves also, like as individuals in the world. And like y'all might be like applying for other jobs and all, right? So then y'all will have to create your own CVs and be updated and everything. And in that case, you have to differentiate yourself from the other potential job candidates, right? So to do that, obviously you have to be a brand. Otherwise, now since y'all are moving upward in the corporate ladder, product chances and to get promoted or to be the CFO or chief accountant or whatever. Only like maybe one or two, right? So in that case, you all have to differentiate yourself from so all of you all are competitors. There is a competition among all. There is a possibility that he gets selected as the best student of the class because he's helpful and cheerful and answering the questions. Okay. So though all these things are adding up to your ability in generating competitive advantages, okay? Which are important in promoting yourself also. What is the USP means? What is that? Unique selling proposition is what? Are these online people? I don't know. I hope I'm audible to you all. Anything to be added in terms of differentiation? Canada? No. In order. Okay. So what is unique selling proposition? අදද පළවෙනි වතාවට ඒක ඇහුවේ නෑනේ. Unique selling proposition කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මේක නෑ. That is something that makes the consumers buy your product or service other than buying from a competitor. So in that case, you have to, educate your consumers of the features and the qualities and all these product innovations and modifications and everything to show that you're different from the competitors, which will make the customers choose you instead of choosing one of the competitors in the market. Right? ඒක තමයි UPS එක කියන්නේ. USP එක කියන්නේ. Right? And then you should have more than one differentiator. What does that mean? The EGB එකේ නම් there were two differentiators. Ginger taste එකයි appetizer එකයි. Two differentiators were there. Why do you think that we need to have more differences? Because why? Intense competition is there, right? In the market? Yes, exactly. Since there is like a huge competition in the market, all the competitors are trying to differentiate their products and services. So then they have to break the clutter in order to attract customers. So in the Signal and in the toothpaste example, Signal, even though it's the market leader, can he just be and just stay like without doing any maybe product modifications or marketing in communications or whatever, all these strategies, can he just stay there and like, no, right? It has to continuously do product modifications or introduce new products. Like under Signal, there are like so many other product lines and versions like Close Up and I don't know, like for children, they have all these other small toothpaste products are there. So they have to constantly do that and differentiate themselves. Otherwise, Klogard will capture their market. That is why you have to have more than one differentiators and you have to focus on, improving your product and all these, not only the product. Now, if we speak of new product development and modifications, the first thing that comes into our mind is like, oh, okay, it's a new feature that we're adding or it's a totally new product that we're introducing. But no, it's like you can incorporate changes to all those aspects of the product. I mean, the pricing, you can have different pricing strategies to differentiate yourself. I've seen like these different locations in our country even. They have different prices for the same product, different prices. Depending on the geographic region, the prices sort of reduce. Maybe because of the capability or the income levels of the consumers, they sort of differentiate their pricing also. And in terms of channel, how can they differentiate? Maybe going online or directly delivering your product to the customer, or else you're using intermediaries, right? So in that, like using those ways, you can differentiate your distribution, right? And in terms of promotions, how can you differentiate yourself? මම කියන්නේ product එක විතරක් වෙනස් කරලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. All these elements of the marketing mix has to be changed කියලා. With all these aspects, you can come up with differentiators which will make the consumers come to you. දැන් ඔයාගේ product එක ඇත්තටම low quality, but your promotions are like so quality promotions are there. Even though it's unethical, but still the consumers will be attracted by looking at the promotions. Like Coca-Cola එකේ වෙන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට that is what happens, right? They sort of attract the customers with their creative and updated promotional strategies. With close to Christmas, they advertise using the Christmas theme, and maybe all the different days they're using different campaigns and highlighting and attracting the customers towards them, even though the product itself is unhealthy and increasing your sugar levels and so on. Right? You have to also know now, even though as a producer or a brand, even though you have multiple differentiators, you still have to select what are the specific differentiators that you're going to highlight in your position. Now, even now, if we take a physical, let's say the automobile industry, and automobile is a physical product, and it is providing so many attributes like maybe the design, the safety systems, and the what else? Automobiles will quality determine kind of factors, but on the safety systems. What else? On the sales services, right? See, what else? How long you can use it? Durability. What else? Wheelchairs facility again. Embed current one year. Okay. And what about this? What else? Right. Fuel consumption. What else? The eco-friendliness of the in terms of fuel consumption, if it is like efficient and if efficient in terms of fuel consumption, then that means it's an eco-friendly vehicle. What else? How else can it be eco-friendly? Like the level of air pollution that it saves. Hybrid vehicles, right? So those are the differentiators, right? Now, in terms of the eco-friendliness, the fuel efficiency, the durability, and all those things are features that differentiate one automobile brand from another automobile brand. But when you're positioning, you have to highlight, you can't be like highlighting all those. You have to select the most specific and the most unique features or the aspects to support your promotions and the positioning strategy. So always your product promotion strategies are linked with your positioning. So sometimes you all might have seen, even though the product is positioned as one thing, but now after some time, they're repositioned. Have you all seen that? Can you all give some examples? for some companies who have done repositionings? No. How did it happen for corporate?
In advertise, like, is getting like this. In a simple wording, they advertise.
Right. What is the uniqueness that they highlighted before the reposition took place? Low sugar. I think that is after the reposition. Before the positioning, let's say it was sweeter, more sweeter come to us. But after some time, having understood all the customer concerns with the sugar levels and the health consciousness and everything, they repositioned themselves as what? Traffic light? Yeah. That is like something that they have incorporated to communicate it, but still, how they repositioned was less sweet and healthy and all these diet cokes and zero cokes. Okay, that is an example for a reposition. What else? In Sri Lanka? If you take Sunpeak, I think in the early, when it was first introduced, it was like a mixture of fruit drinks, right? So it was a refreshing sort of a product. But then they repositioned themselves as what?
Gifting.
Right. Back up in gifting. That was also repositioned. What else? Marmite. How did they reposition?
Just look Marmite, all the.
Only on bread.
Now they are repositioning that.
As anything. That is also a tactic that they actually use other than repositioning themselves. It is also a tactic where they can increase their market share also. Because earlier it was only the bread eating people used Marmite. But now, since you can use it with other products, the audience has grown. That is what they expect. I don't know if it has happened. But however, it's like a tactic for increasing the market share and also the number of users of the product. The users, okay? USERS users, right? So these are the criteria that you have to use in selecting what are the most unique features that you are going to highlight in your positioning strategy. Okay? Right. The value proposition is what? Why your customers should buy from you. So you can, like I said, you can position depending on a product attribute. Product attribute like a feature of a product, right? If you take automobile, the attributes are what? The fuel efficiency, the durability. For automobiles, do we consider now the durability? Because with the most used, the value increase or something is there, like the energy, the number of kilometers that you all have traveled. Boys, you all know, right? එහෙම එකක් නැද්ද? අර කියපු ගාන kilometers ගාන වැඩි වෙනකොට is it good or bad? Is it a value addition or what?
Depends on the second-hand market.
Second-hand market. I thought less kilometers, then it's good. 5 kilometers now, it's considered the engine is like low quality again. All right. The value depreciates, right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So those are the attributes, okay? So the engine number of kilometers that you all have traveled and the engine capacity or anything, and then the fuel efficiency and all these things are attributes. And you can use these attributes to position your car to the market. And then benefits. What are the benefits that you get by using a car or a vehicle? So the engine capacity is like an attribute. The fuel efficiency is like sort of a benefit, right? That we get. Yeah, benefit is like something extra that we get. Now, අපි car එකක් normally ගන්නේ මොකටද? For transport, for transportation, right? To facilitate our private transportation, a car. But what is the benefit that you get? Fuel efficiency plus all these comfort and even this safety with all these safety systems and all, and ID-based features that you have. The benefit is that you're secured and also you will be able to have a comfortable drive. Those are the benefits. And then the user type positioning. What does that mean? User type. පාවිච්චි කරන කෙනා අනුව we can position. Second hand vehicles ගැන වගේ නිකන් හිතුවොත් who buy second hand cars in Sri Lanka? But that it depends on the capability of the consumers, I believe. But then another pricing solution. Okay, so tell me an example of user type positioning. High income earners, right? But in international markets, of course, second-hand vehicles, they can have vintage collection classical vehicles, right? So we can, they all are buying. How can we like differentiate? Right. Depending on the attitudes and also their attitudes in terms of valuing old stuff. Collectors. The user is a collector, even though he or she is a high income earner, he also has an interest towards collecting cars, old cars, classical vehicles, like he said. So with that, you can also position. You can vintage at the highlight කරලා, you can position yourself. Right? ඒක ටිකක් extreme case එකක්. නිකන් normal easy example එකක් ගත්තොත් අපි user type එක අනුව අපි අර example එක ගන්නත් පුළුවන් healthy bar එක energy bars user type එක අනුව තමයි අපි youngsters and corporates ලව classify කරලා තියෙන්නේ because corporates they won't be, I'm assuming you won't be like having much time to have a proper breakfast and go, and work and so on. So because depending on the user type, we are introducing this energy bar. And also for the kids also, to maybe have it after the interval or at school, user type account. What else? Like, I think over corporate side. So over become casual where except Fridays office. Depending on the user type, there are, I think, so many different products and services that you all are consuming. Depending on the position that you all are currently holding in your company. If you're like a salesperson or a frontline employee of the company, are you all frontline employees? What do you all do now? Directly engaging with your clients or like supporting Finance and accounts, manager and executives. What do you all do? Are you all directly engaging with the customers? No, not even with the, in terms of projects, buildings and constructions even? No. So asking from you. Okay, no. So that means you all are back office employees. Right. Front office, back office, just try to use the title. Alright. So you all are back office employees, right? So I think you don't have to focus on your attire that much. I mean, comparatively, compared to maybe the people who are in the sales team or like the sales representatives of your company. Comparatively, you don't have to be that much of considerate of your. And then I'm just telling, okay, I'm just telling because for salespeople, it's like a must because they have to, look pretty and attractive. Not pretty, but they have to have a good personality, and that is supported with your entire. I don't know that, but still. So what else? Depending on your user type, like instead of attire, what else? So y'all need laptops and smartphones and more smart devices to do all these calculations and all things that y'all do in the back office, right? But that doesn't mean now, even though we say front or back, it doesn't mean that the back office people are less important than the front office, okay? Just that the front office people are interacting with the customers and most of the time other stakeholders than the back office people. So front office is like the welcoming person, the receptionist of a hotel or normally organizations have receptions, right? I guess so. That and the merchandisers are back office or front office? Engaging with. If they're engaging, then okay. What about the production manager or the operations manager? Is he or she front office or back? Back office. So who are the front ones then? Other than receptions? Obviously, the marketing staff. Comparatively high. Sales representatives and who else? Like the head of the organization, the CEO, and the managers. So if you get keys and all, there are managers wandering around, right? Okay. And price and quality position. So normally, if we take a product, if the price is high, what do you perceive? High quality. What else? Brand well-established brand. Okay, what else?
Yeah.
They are productive. Right? Yeah, pretty much those things. So normally there is a negative relationship. No. A positive relationship between price and quality. Because normally when the prices are high, we perceive that the products or the services are of high quality. And also that is from the customer's point of view, that is how the customers perceive. When the prices are high, we think that it is high quality and there is a good brand or a goodwill is there, right? On the company's point of view, what happens? When we try to increase our quality, what happens? Yeah, the cost increases. And no, but still you can charge a profit margin and maintain your profits, right? Yeah, so that will increase your price as a result of your cost increment. But the prices will go up, right? So again, from both the customer's point of view and also from the organization's point of view, when the price is increased, normally the quality is also increased. And then you can also use that for positioning also. Then you can like Odell again, same sort of clothes. What's the difference? They have this tagline Odell and it's distributed through their outlets. But then the prices are, I mean, maybe twice than some other local producer. Why is that? Is it because of the product quality? To an extent, I think. Then brand, yeah, the brand value and the goodwill and the PR that they have created. But normally they used to use it as like to show their high quality and the value of their clothes are high price and high quality. So you can position it by using that relationship also. How do you think quality is increasing the profitability of your organizations? Since you all are focused on cost and expenses reduction, how do you all think the quality improvements will increase your profitability? Customers?
They don't worry about the price.
Yeah, when the quality is high, they don't consider about the price, they just go ahead and buy. Right, that is correct. What else? How else does it happen? Quality now you said when the quality increases, cost and then the profitability reduces. ඒක නෙවෙයි වෙන්නේ හැබැයි. මම අහන්නේ කොහොමද එන අනිත් පැත්තට වෙන්නේ කියලා. What she said was one way. And then now you're providing a quality product, right? Now with the consumption of that quality product, high quality product, the customers will be what?
Go ahead.
Right, that is right. They will first be satisfied, right? Satisfied, and with that satisfaction, they will stay loyal to the organization. And the loyal customers will do what? They will communicate positive things about your product and the brand to other customers, which will reduce your promotional costs. Because then as the company, you don't have to invest more on doing extra promotional activities. Your loyal customers will share the buzz and the positive word of mouth. And with that, your promotional costs will increase. As a result, your profitability will be increased. So now, then, profit let's talk about something of your area. Profit it's the next TR minus DC, right? Total revenue minus total cost, right? It's a good now as a result of promotions, positive word of mouth, you can reduce your total cost because total cost is what? The promotional costs are also added to the total cost. And then how can you increase your total revenue? Total revenue can the price and quantity multiplication. Quantity with loyal customers and what did you say? With the high quality products, more consumers will buy your product. With that, the quantity increases, right? So in that case, the quantity increases, but price is high, right? Premium price you can all anyway charge because there is a relationship between price and quality. When there are high prices, the quality is high. Perception through that you can charge high prices, and then you can charge a high price, and with the high premium prices again your TR will increase, right? The total revenue. And when the quantity increases, again the total revenue will increase. මම කියන දේ තේරෙනවද නේද? Quantity එකක් වැඩි වෙනවා because there's a buzz happening about your product, and also as a part of that relationship because they perceive high products with high quality. With that, the quantity increases and premium price එක කොහොමද ඔයාලට charge කරන්න පුළුවන්. And then total cost එක අඩු කරගන්න ඕනේ to increase the profitability. So to reduce the total cost, you can use the positive word of mouth, and then maybe feedbacks and all those things comes under positive word of mouth. But you can reduce your promotional cost and thereby reduce your total cost, which will increase the profitability of your organization. So අපිට කියන්න බෑ when the prices increase, when the cost of the product increase as a result of a quality modification, the prices are also, the profitability අඩු වෙනවා. Right? තේරුණානේ? නෑ යන්න පුළුවන් ඕනෙත් වගේ. Good luck with your presentation, and thank you for listening.